Hello, this is Adam English for Raw 12:51am. I'm here with Jeremy and Mike from Everything Everything.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Guys?
We're getting back into the swing of things.
Yes.
Because we were supposed to be here over a month ago, and we had to cancel the show because the police came in and said, "You must be joking," because of the snow. Yeah, not because we're bad.
About the snow, does the lack of momentum can you feel that as a band as you were playing around the country?
Yeah,
because you were supposed
really
to
annoying.
start in Dublin, right, which is supposed to be a great place for a band to start a tour, and obviously didn't.
Yeah, and it's a great venue. We're not doing that until October, I think now. But yeah, it's that thing if you're in the headspace to play and you've been working up to getting the tour ready, you know, in loads of different ways. And then you set up, and then you sound check, and then it's pulled. But it's one of those things, isn't it? And it was no one's fault, and we
kept our spirits up just about.
it was. I think if we'd had to pull one more, we would have been really, we were right at the end of our tether because we'd spent a week on the tour bus, getting on and off it, setting the show up every day. But I mean, the biggest problem is that you end up 3 shows out of step of the standard that you would be if you've been kind of broken in over that time. But we hit our stride really quickly, and we were really happy with all of the gigs that we played actually. But the last show was at London Alexandra Palace, which is our biggest ever headline show, and it was a really special night actually.
Congratulations!
We were all happy. Thank you.
Big achievement. So let's briefly talk A Deeper Sea. The newest EP for you guys came out a couple of months ago now. It would have been more relevant in the interview last time, but we'll reschedule. How's the reaction been? How have you found it?
great. We wanted to just release it as a kind of surprise, just out of nowhere.
No build up, no teasers, none of that nonsense that we're encouraged to do every now and then. Just bang, here's some music, and not being encumbered with having to tie our entire identity to it, like you might do with a longer album, a full length. It's more just, here are 4 tracks we couldn't find homes for elsewhere.
I did really want to ask you about this because I read in an interview with you, Jeremy, that you were against putting it out as a deluxe album, and you were more just wanted to just put music out. Do you get frustrated with the kind of idea that you have to label things as?
Well, no, I think the album format is something we're still fond of, and but that's why we didn't want to do a deluxe, because we had a very clear idea of where it begins and ends, and the full story arc, if you like, across 11 tracks, and we didn't then want tracks 12 to 16 or 17 to the kind of the B material, as it were, which because of the way that people listen to albums now, you can't even make it distinct by having 2 discs or whatever. It's understandably, people just listen to everything in a row on streaming. So with Get to Heaven, our previous album, we'd very deliberately chosen the last track, and then a load of other songs begin that kind of spoiled the picture for us.
I can imagine,
So we just wanted to avoid that, but we also realised that as a result, and because we hadn't put out vinyl singles, so we didn't have any vinyl B-sides, we'd actually put out effectively half as much music this time around, so we just wanted to get some more out there.
So back to A Fever Dream. We've been touring it for a while now. Does the excitement of playing new songs, is that worn off? Does it ever wear off? Is that?
No, I mean we've played Breadwinner 3 times live now or something. You know,
Still keeps us on our toes.
we were rehearsing yesterday, like, oh yeah, how do we do this? It's good. It's the set's like a really nice mixture of old and new.
There was 3 songs actually that we hadn't, until this tour began, or last month's tour began, we hadn't tackled them at all from the new album. We deliberately held them back for when we could have a little bit more of an immersive setting, bigger headline shows, because they're that kind of music, a bit more involved. And those are really, really enjoyable to play, because you kind of swim a bit deeper in those songs. And
and they're a bit harder to realise as well. I think when they're live, I mean, when the album came out and we had to sort of decide what songs off the new album we were going to play, some of the subtler ones like Put Me Together and Good Shot, we couldn't really, we made a start on, but we couldn't quite get it right as well, so we had to spend quite a lot of time for this tour
making the run up.
So it sounds like you're very much still in the headspace of a Fever Dream, evolving the set list.
Oh yeah, very much so. Yeah, the EP is deliberately designed and titled in a way that borrows from the world of a Fever Dream. You know, we're still very much in that headspace. Yeah.
Cool. So have you nothing looking forward just as yet?
There's been slight bits.
Conversation about maybe going and sitting in the same room and listening to some new songs.
Very cool. Very
That's
cool.
as far as we got.
So, what's your feeling on kind of like taking these depressing subject matters and turning them to things people want to dance at and have a good time? Is that like strange to get your head around?
No, because it's deliberate and that's what we want to happen. It's not that we're not trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes and be like, haha, you're dancing to something about war or whatever. It's not about that. It's more that I think Jonathan finds, I don't know if we'd call it bleak, but some sort of difficult subjects just interesting because a lot of people don't really want to go there. And then we like the idea of subverting it a bit in terms of the music. So especially on Get to Heaven, there was the kind of clash of, you know, some of the lyrics are about terrorism and yet quite a bright, sort of catchy pop song underneath it, you know. So that just is more interesting to us than writing like depressing songs that are obviously one note in a sense, you know. But I mean, I don't even find bleak lyrics bleak because I mean, I listen to Radiohead and I'm like, yeah, it's great. I can, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the inference, doesn't it, and the interpretation. But I think there's always an upside, and we've always deliberately put happy endings at the end of our albums as well. Bizarrely, you know, there's always a bit of redemption at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, we're not, you know, as people, we're not. Sort of doomy, like
no, not at all.
Everything's screwed kind of people.
Actually, enormously facile, like to spend time with. We're like children, you know.
Yeah, you know, we're not just sort of glumly walking around going, "Oh, this is awful." But obviously, we just live in very strange times, very confusing times. You know, from one day to the next. Look at Syria at the moment; it's just like, what is going on? And it's more about, I think John lyrically he's kind of interested in that confusion of like, how do we process all of this stuff that's going on. So some of it is quite dark, I suppose. But
cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the show. Cheers.
Right, thank you, guys.
Good stuff.